This morning, we are continuing our Monitoring Men's Health segment with another very serious topic, post-traumatic stress disorder. June is PTSD awareness, so this morning, we want to share ways of how you can live with it, or if you're dealing with someone who has it.
Yeah, we know many veterans have PTSD, but it also goes beyond that. Anything traumatic in your life, even a divorce, can trigger it. And I sat down with Washington University professor, Dr. Rumi Price.
You begin to avoid things. For example, July 4th is coming up, but you can't stand the smell of the beef.
Right.
Because you had the same smell.
Or even the sound of the fireworks.
Right. Those things trigger. So, no, barbecue, no, I'm not going. Yeah, so you started avoiding people. You started avoiding social activities.
Now, there are some signs that you should be looking out for. Nightmares, you can't sleep, flashbacks, or some unpleasant memories. That would be PTSD.
Yeah, and a lot of panic attacks actually come from an actual physical issue, like an increased heart rate or sweating. Before going to see a doctor and taking medication, there are some other methods you may want to try first.
Better things are actually around you, like deep breathing, relaxation, and those are free.
Yes.
And you don't have to put anything in your mouth. So I would suggest those methods first, and stop drinking.
You can call 988 to talk to a trained crisis counselor too.
Yeah, and she talked about those things that are free, deep breathing, kind of changing your environment. A lot of times the PTSD is triggered by something like a trauma, right? And so whenever, like we've had 4th of July coming up, you think about the fireworks, the loud boom. A lot of veterans can relate to that. But even, a regular old person that didn't go to war can suffer from those things too, like maybe something happened to you when you were a child, or like we mentioned earlier, a divorce. She mentioned also stop drinking. That was something she said. And she talked about how that's a coping strategy. A lot of times you go have a drink to escape. Well, what are you escaping? What are you trying to get away from? And is it that feeling of trauma? Did you go through something that's causing you to drink heavily? And of course, as it goes on, she mentioned a lot of times people who have alcoholism, they don't just develop that overnight. That's 30 and 40 years of a lifetime of drinking, and then your liver at that point is just shot.
Yeah, it's a buildup over time. And, one of the things that people need to do is truly consider talking to somebody about these situations. Let it out, because then you'll be able to identify what is leading to your PTSD.
Yeah, and that's why we created this segment to begin with, to have men sit down and talk about it, because she said a lot of men just hold it in. That's what she sees, whereas women will get together, they have social groups, and men kind of view this as a weakness.
They have this masculinity, machoism, and they don't want to talk about their weaknesses. They see psychiatric symptoms as weaknesses.
But that's so true. We are taught at an early age as boys, be tough, tough it out, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. And so you're never quite able to express your emotions, understand your emotions. And so I think she's hitting the nail on the head there. We're talking about it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay not to be okay. And even with my kids, I try to encourage them, if they're upset about something, it's okay to be upset right now, but you move on. And that's with PTSD, you can't move on. And that's when she said there's help available.
And it is interesting to think that when you say PTSD, the first thing people think of, oh, I didn't go to war. I'm not doing that. No, it's traumatic things that have happened in your life. And it could be a car accident. It could be losing a loved one. So many things can trigger back to those points. You start thinking, oh, that's why I get so upset this time of the year, especially around the holidays. A lot of folks have a hard time around the holidays too. Now, there is help available. If you've had a traumatic life event, reach out to a healthcare professional. Take the time to take care of yourself. That is so important.
It is so important, because you can't be the best you if you're trying to take care of everybody else and not taking care of yourself. So take the time to listen to your body. If you feel anxious, if you feel, that PTSD is coming on in some sort of physical trait, that's when you really want to reach out. If it's holding you back from living your life, reach out.
And it may not be, if you're looking at dates and events and all that, it may not be the day of. It could be the days leading up to, where you start to feel a little anxiety.
Or like you said,
and
anything you smell or hear, your senses, that triggers it.
Good conversation. Thank you. Stay with us now. Today in St. Louis at 6 a.m. starts right now.